Hello and welcome to part 1 of the new main story event, Photoluminescence. So, with Sangomas in the last story event, we did retrieve our memories and also figure out quite a lot about the Guardians organization, the arcade, and their boss. We did have a couple of issues with their translation there. So, kind of was hanky. I hope this chapter is a little bit more fair what that is about the translation. And I already saw it. It is fair, and I hope it will also stay like this. But by fair I mean it is translated right, like the Sanctifier actually Sanctifiers and everyone else names too, like Eusphorus. And speaking of Eusphorus, which I pronounce Eusphorus, it is probably Eusphorus. Just so you know, same as Euscharis, it is probably Euscharis. I'm not sure quite. Nevertheless, I'm just got used to pronouncing them like this. And it is continuation of what happened there, what is the guy planning, and we are going from the Sanctifier side, from the look of it. Not know what to expect, so also probably there will be a quick summary at the start anyways, so let's just jump into chapter part 1. Prelude to Judgment. Once we were of one mind, but now we are of different path. Probably Eusphorus and Hesperus, the brother, or like kind of brother, like the other great Sanctifier. Die. For my part, I will accept my fate whatsoever. Love and the other gods see fit to send it. So it's either love or Jove. Already one quite a little bit mistake. The Idiot, book 22. Chapter 14. Photoluminescence. Reverse Babylon Tower, Palazzo of Odds. A flock of white birds taking flight, accompanied by the tolling of a great bell. Upon their steel adorned plaza, young Sanctifiers stand at attention. Their two leaders at the center of their gazes. See, Sanctifiers. We start with Eusphorus. We are gathered here to mourn those of the vanguard, those who gave their lives in the assault on Tartarus. Atlas, Electra, Alcyone, Eos. They walk the path of duty as true Sanctifiers until their final moments. Their names shall be recorded upon those tales as proof of their bravery. Fallen in Tartarus they may be, their efforts and courage shall never be forgotten. Thus, a newly born Sanctifiers, heed my words. To protect democracy is your duty. Before our elevated ideals are made reality, we ought to keep your beliefs close to heart and carry out our duty, lest we forge the oaths we once made. Eusphorus takes a step forward, beginning to draw a star on his forehead to begin the mantra. A reinvigorated musical accompaniment begins, and the Sanctifiers beneath the podium begins to chant in their impassioned state. We hone our blades in the darkness. We defend order in the face of chaos. We bear light in the long night. Raven, we must not abuse our power because we are strong, and neither can we abandon our responsibilities because we are weak. Crime and punishment. Man, that's kinda a lot of people that we know. We hear the revelations of God, and we act to carry out His will. Angelus. Only thou, Order, can we glimpse the truth of the revelation. The blessed must engrave the gods in their hearts, fulfill their will, and seek their glory. Charis. Wait. Right, Angelus was Electra and Charis was Alcyone. Detecting her partner's absent-minded state, Angelus whispers at Charis' hair with her wings. Charis, our odds. Man. The girl unwillingly retracts her gaze, pointing in the direction she was just looking at. Those rituals are so boring. Oh look, Pixie's Angelus. Isn't Lord Oisphorus not following along either? The silver-haired leader does not look at those new sanctifiers. Instead, casting his gaze towards the masses of steels that signify the Sanctifier's glory. The names of the Sanctifiers are graven upon them by their creator. Most of these inscriptions are now worn with the passing of time, and only the few newest names towards the bottom remains almost blindly visible. The black-haired Sanctifier's leader next to him finished his wound with eyes closed, looking towards the black, turned figure of Oisphorus. Hesperus. So that's the other great Sanctifier. Like great Sanctifier. Hesitating for a moment, he does not walk forward, only offering a quiet reminder. Oisphorus, do not forget our duties as Sanctifiers. Our duties, you're right. Reminder, at this phase, Oisphorus already began to changing sides. His tranquil gaze sweeps across the masses before him. After a brief pause, Oisphorus completes his portion of his work. May we carry the will of the deceased with us, as we bear our burden, fight for Magracy. For Magracy! In stark contrast to their fervor beneath the podium, Oisphorus stands silently in place, seemingly thinking of something, while also arriving at the resolution. Oisphorus' erratic behavior was all too obvious to Hesperus, but, regrettably, he is not a man who often speaks his mind. Those who Oisphorus can pour his heart out to are long gone, left behind in Tartarus. That is for the ceremony. Good work, Oisphorus. Leave the rest to me. I should probably call him Eosphoros. Sorry. Eosphoros? He does not respond, turning and hiding himself within the deep darkness behind the veil. The new generation of Sanctifiers still exclaims their ideals, hot-blooded, flowing in their veins. Revenge. Aye aye, for Magracy! Well said, for Magracy! Shush, Lord Oisphorus is still on the podium. You really must quiet down. Wait, come help me stop them. Oh, Magracy. You too? Huh? more and more begin to join the chant. The thunderous proclaiming reverbs through the courtyard, the sound rushing towards the heavens. A holy place to be sullied with desecrating clamor. Lord Phosphorus, shall I go with crime to put an end to this? That's not punishment. They have committed no transgression. Silence, crime! Who do you stand with exactly? I simply do not enjoy bearing blades against our own. Signing, crime only speaks with their eyes. Let them be. Phosphorus looks towards the stills like Phosphorus did just a moment ago. He would have said that once upon a time. After taking care of the red tape around the ceremony, Hesperus comes to the feet of the stairs by his lonesome. The twilight Acropolis remains bleak, as it always has been. A warm line dawns, placing a vein of dark gold over the steel. Unexpectedly, Phosphorus' figure is nowhere to be found. Phosphorus, placing the white flower in his lap down at the feet of the stage, Hesperus turns to leave, but a familiar voice from behind the stills stops him in his steps. Just how long are you going to wait here? My legs are getting numb. Just a bit longer. I would not have come in the first place if I had known. Electra? Azione? No, it's Angelus and Oisharis. Lord Hesperus? Faced with the two young countenances before him, Phosphorus realizes his mistake in speaking the names of the deceased. Sorry, my mistake. Wow. It sure is rare to see a Lord Hesperus slip up. I must say, both you and Lord Hesperus are acting a little funny today. Oisharis consider Hesperus with ample interest, pointing towards a corner of the steel. Unfortunately, we are not, and never will be, the Electra and Alcyon you speak of. Well, getting the hard one. What you are expecting is all the way up there in the past. Oisharis. Sorry, Big Sis. Was a little too honest? I think all of that standing around must have gotten to me. But I think that some things really just need to be said. You would not like to be called Electra either, right, Big Sis Angelus? Aye. Angelus fails to find any words. Oisharis speaks her thoughts exactly. It is true that you are not those who I used to know. Electra, Alcyone, both outstanding warriors. They battled to the end. They honor the Sanctifiers in their hearts until their last moments. I only wish for you to be as exalted as they were while holding onto your sense of self. Yes. That one of the Sanctifiers. Stuff again. Okay, get it. Oisharis shrugs, her interest briefly piqued by Hesperus' arrival, no dampened. You stay here and stare at this rock, I guess, Big Sis. I'm off to find something more interesting to do. Do pardon me, Lord Hesperus. Wait, Asharis! He does not heed Angelo's call, flying toward the main tower without turning back for even a second. My apologies, Lord Hesperus. Please forgive Asharis for her insolence. She has been in a foul mood since the ceremony this morning. Something must be on her mind. Angelus tries to make what verbal amends she can. Her gaze lands upon the white flowers Hesperus placed not a moment ago. You are here to offer the flowers as well. I didn't think we would be here to do the same thing. Do you think it's strange? No, that's not what I mean. Normally, Lord Eosphorus is the one to appear here. I thought he would have come with you. I expected him to be here too. But perhaps today, he would not rather appear before his compatriots, or a member of the past after the ceremony. Compatriots? I see. Angelus lowered her eyes, muttering Hesperus' words. Forgive me, Lord Hesperus, but you could tell me of Electra? If it is about her exploits, the systems ought to have recorded them. I have pursued those already. I wish to know not of the honors she received, but how she was as a person. You are neither Electra or a replacement for her. I know I'm not her, but... She looks toward the bottom of the steel, her face glowing conflicted. As a most familiar stranger, I want to learn about her past, the decisions she once made. Perhaps this is the only way I can only find the direction I must go in. Someone different from her. It would appear Asharis is not the only person with something on her mind. Angelus does not deny it, lowering her head and falling silent. The Electra I remember is not as perfect as Eosphorus would describe. Huh? She was frustratious, much like you do, and occasionally expressed a longing for the outside world. As dutiful as she was at the great Sanctifier, she did everything in her power to slack off during training, and tended to hide in places only Alcyone knew about, sleeping the day away. I knew of the efforts she put in behind the scenes to maintain that degree of laxity, but all of the attitude she showed gave the thoroughly serious Alcyone a lot of headache. She would often complain to me and Eosphorus about how troublesome this older sister for her was, but after their in-the-moment emotion passed, they would be good friends once more, not unlike you and Asharis. Do you miss Electra and the others? Of course she does. Yeah. Not just them. Each and every name on this sleeve belongs to someone I was once intimately close with. For Eosphorus and I, they record not only the history of the Sanctifiers, but also a past we shall never have in our hands again. The simulated shutdown cast the day remnant light upon the two. Spilling across the white flowers, the two brought with them. It is true that I do not speak of it often, but I have never forgotten them. Clenching a fist as if coming to a resolution, Angelus raises her head, presenting Eosphorus with a question. Lord Hesperus, might I ask you something? In your mind, what is a Sanctifier? Nascent life entwines with death here, burning the image into the mind of everyone present. I do not know whether or not my answer that day revealed the uncertainties in her heart. For that reason, I still ponder that question, even now. In the flame-consumed ruins, a man rises to his feet, ending a brief reminiscence. What is a Sanctifier? If I were to pose to you that question, what would be your answer, Osphorus? The man he points his blade at does not respond, staring down upon the square like he once did in memory. But unlike those 2 days of memory, there are no allies Hesperus would put his life in the hands of to be seen. The uproar of the entropic horde takes the place of that day's chanting, rampantly desecrating the holy ground, whipping away the beauties that once were. No, never mind. Pay it no mind. I'm merely talking to myself. If you are not stopped here, the Sanctifiers will cease to be soon enough. A colossal amount of operance emerges as he finished speaking, like a flame bustling forth. In but a moment, the entropies in Hesperus' vicinity pay the price for their audacity, burned to a crisp in their thoughtless acrimony. He draws his blade, cleaving apart the flames with his personage. Come, Osphorus, I shall be your foe. Wow, that's a very powerful part 0. Looks like they're fighting. Without a lot of questions, let's go to part 1. Endgame conspiracy. One last game of chess for the sake of Magracia. Asharis? Is it you? A few hours ago, Reverse Babylon Tower, Twilight, Acropolis. Osphorus betrayed the Sanctifiers, entropizing Magracia with his final goal being entering the world where God lives. And we are back with the Professor. Oh, Professor is not about to save the day. I hope Professor is also about to save the Magracia. Yes, or in simple terms, the real world. After putting all the pieces together, that is the most reasonable conclusion to why he's doing all this. Yes, Osphorus' goal is to upload himself into real world and, well, be mad at humans. Understand that this may be difficult to accept, much like a fruit which seeks to fall from its tree and into the skies. Just plain ridiculousness all the way through. No, I understand. That is indeed Osphorus' way of doing things. Adjusting the bands on his arms, Hesperus fell silent for a moment, as if processing the sudden influx of information. I see now. Please continue, Professor of the Oasis. I didn't think you would come to terms with that so quickly. That makes what's coming next easier to explain. Osphorus is cooperating with Malkira, and enterprising Magrasi in order to gain a bargaining chip with humanity, or the god that you speak of. Magrasi is so important to your god that Oisforos is using it to threaten them in order to open a path to the world outside. So the Magrasi we once protected together has now become nothing more than a bargaining chip to him. Hesperus lightly sighs, but his look in his eyes only grows more resolute. His request must have been met with silence. What with the increasing intensity of interposition recently? Correct. However, we have no way of knowing the exact details of their negotiation, meaning that Oisforos' next attack or the opening of the passage toward the outside world might happen at any moment. We are pressed for time. The Sanctifier leader sits in silence for a moment, tightening his grasp on his weapons once more. His swine actions must be silenced. But before that, Professor, I must make sure that this information you are providing me, which is true. Of course, mutual honesty is the very root of cooperation. Antonida, if you would. Called upon, the green-haired doll projects forth the collection information in a tidy manner, picking up where the professor left off. This is a record of interactions with the uploading equipment. The professor and Persicalia got it from the NeuroCloud sector, though it is not like I went with them. This deleted ID has been restored with the professor's permissions. As the current head of the Sanctifiers, I'm quite confident you will recognize it. This is indeed Oisforos' handiwork. Will you consider my proposal now, Hesperus? If you mean the operation to take back the reverse Babel Tower, I will take part. You can leave command of the direct engagement to me. That would be great help indeed. But as you are now, can you really handle Oisforos? Oisforos. The gay lads on Hesperus' wounds, which he has spoken little of. His mechanical dragon tail, the source of much of his pride, lies in Thetas. His wings, made of great shields, have been penetrated by an object most sharp, tearing the flesh beneath asunder and leaving deep, visible wounds. Even as specialized sanctifiers assist with his healing while we speak, such grave wounds cannot be mended in so short time. Just what sort of battle did you? Have you exchanged blows with Oisforos already? He is yet to appear on the battlefield for the reverse Babel Tower. I would think that he is waiting for me to appear. So I must force him to take an appearance. Is that why you moved to take care of the problem in Tantarus at your first opportunity, despite paying the price with those wounds? Looks like your intel reached far beyond what I had imagined. The Sanctifier leader nods slightly, a hint of commendation in his voice. The reverse Babel Tower is in acute state with regards to interpositions, and the Sanctifier's manpower can no longer be spent at the border Frontline. Removing a high-order entropics of Tartarus is the most simple and direct way possible, and putting our main forces back was the only way to have a chance at victory here. I remember that entropy's name. Rudica, though his signal has disappeared from Tartarus already. Hesperus, you eliminated her yourself, did you not? You are correct. I did it with my own hands. If you only sought to get away, such measures would not have been necessary. They would have only grown into greater problems, if allowed to fester. It would have gotten in the way of your future plan, no? Hesperus' countenance and timbre were relaxed and easier, but the wounds on his body speaks of the struggle of the battle. Hesperus, you have no time to chat of the past. Professor of the others, I would like to confirm your intended course of actions once again. Of course. The professor activates a projection prepared earlier. The entire sector status is recorded within, detailing the severity of circumstances in the various areas of the sector. In the center, surrounded by masses of data, a structural plan of the reverse Babylon Tower, annotated with various symbols and circles, is of particular note. As mentioned earlier, our current target is to take back the reverse Babylon Tower from Asforos and prevent him from enterprising Magrassi further. But, as this graphic would suggest, our forces are not evenly matched. We face not only the Sanctifiers under Asforos' control, but also unimaginable hordes of entropics. We are already hard-pressed to hold them off. If we were to attack head-on, we would have no chance of victory. So, we need to approach from the sacred cannon. Hesperus lightly taps the screen, summoning an image of the sacred cannon. Indeed, with what you have provided us earlier, we have concocted another plan. We will feint a direct attack and tie down the enemy's main force. While this happens, I will lead a squad into the Pantheon and reclaim the sacred cannon. With it under our control, we can gain control of the Sanctifiers under Asforos and weaken his forces. If things go well, we might even be able to reverse engineer the sacred cannon to stop the reverse Babylon Tower entropization. Okay, it doesn't seem very happy. If I may speak frankly, this is an impossible task. A familiar interjecting voice turns down the plan. Angelus. Apologies for the interruption, Lord Hesperus. I have news from the front. Speak freely. We have already reached an agreement with the professor here. Has the right to know. All this is to know about the circumstances. Yes. A few minutes ago, we spotted Lord Asforos. No, the traitor Asforos. As the professor predicted, the hostile entropics became enraged after he appeared and moved to break through our defense lines. We have held back their assaults for now, but this cannot be sustained. We need reinforcements at the front line immediately. We cannot afford to lose any more ground. Lord Hesperus, shall I put back the remaining lines and focus all forces to ensure that the Acropolis does not fall? No need. Looks like Asforos cannot hold himself back any longer. He thinks for a moment, redistributing the forces at hand in accordance with the situation. Prioritize replenishing personnel in zones A and B. I will make my way to the battlefield to relieve the other zones. Understood. I will head towards... Angelus moves to leave, but Hesperus stops her. I will send someone else. Remain and attend this meeting, Angelus. As a great Sanctifier, I need you to have knowledge of our future arrangements. I understand, Lord Hesperus. It has been some time since our last meeting, Professor. Yeah, you almost wanted us to kill. Long time no see, Angelus. We have had our differences in the past, but we stand on the same side now. I hope you can put aside your grievances for the good of all. But not, I say the same too. The Great Sanctifier lifted her weapon, suspended in mid-air, descending from the once lofty position in comparison to the ground. She approaches Antonida, smiling. They also get her playable, so not sure what this means. Maybe just a playable Sanctifier. Maybe there's more. He's getting along. Miss Antonida. Don't refer to me like that. It's strange coming from you. Not fond of that. How about Miss Anna? Like everyone else, then? No, Antonina will do. I will be in your care. The green had all sides, extending a hand as an agreement in reach. Let us end the pleasantries there. Angelus, your thoughts? Of course. Please allow me to elaborate on the sacred canon, everyone. It contains the information of every Sanctifier that has ever been. If one is not familiar with its working, they will be stepped away into vast and chaotic streams of data upon initial connection. Establishing a connection at all is a difficult task in and of itself, never mind modifying and transferring it. That is correct. That is why I am here with the professor. I think interacting with the sacred canon, with Antonida tech and human permission, is a worth try. Rather, it is our only option. And this means that you must enter the Patreon together at the same time, yes? Yes, and this is related to a request I have for you. I hope that you will be able to tie down Osphorus on the front line and allow the Oasis squad to escort Antonida and I into the Pantheon. That about sums it up. I see now. A passable plan, but some key issues remain. If you are worried about the strain of direct engagements, please rest easy. We will provide that corresponding assistance we can. The problem does not lie there. Rather, it is with Magras's rules. The rules of the cloud? Akin to a hex lingering over everyone, the scene that took place in Tartarus flashes in our minds. Just like how a Sanctifier's calculations power is weakened in Tartarus, an agent will be weakened as well upon entering the reverse Babylon Tower. For an agent here, the reverse Babylon Tower's grounds are forbidden grounds. Inside the tower, they mostly likely would not be able to perform the most basics of movements. This has nothing to do with their personal autonomy. The laws were established as such from the very beginning. From a functional perspective, chances are that this serves to prevent the antivirus from being interfered with by redundant data. I more or less understand why. a program setting. If that's the case, why can Antonita and I be here? You, Professor, are possessed to permission greater than the average agent or even the Sanctifiers. Thus, you are not affected by such restrictions. As for Antonida, I fear I have no explanation for you. Perhaps there's something she could tell you. Regrettably, I do not know any more about the situation that you do. Rather, if there was anything going on behind the scenes, I would have told you long ago. Okay. Antonida, why are we so sus all of a sudden? Not everyone has a penchant for speaking in riddles and posturing pretentiously like you lot. Let's put the troublesome stuff to the side for now. Judging from the current situation, I am the only doll who can enter the tower, right? Well, you are not Antonita if you can do this. There's something wrong here. You're not Antonita? Correct. The green-haired doll whirls her hair around a fingertip, returning her gaze to the projected layout of the reverse Babylon Tower. The situation is just as bad as before. Even if we can pull the main Entropix forces to the front lines, the remaining struggles, combined with the difficulties interior terrain, give us enough cause for worry. Without an escort, wantonly entering the Entropic-occupied tower is akin to suicide. Will you give up on your plan? No need to. I'm much rather suggesting for even a slim chance of survival that sit and wait to be enterprised. I'm sure that's what that idiot would have said, with a massive grin. I'm of the same mind. The professor nods and ponder for a moment before turning their gaze back to Hosperus. They have no personnel who are up to the task, but seeing the Sanctifiers can move freely inside the reverse Babel Tower, perhaps we might have some leftover manpower, Lord Hesperus. Perhaps it will be Angelus? Very well. Seeing you are willing to put yourself at risk venturing into the tower, the Sanctifiers shall provide you with your deserved recognition and support. Angelus. Lord Hesperus, all of our available forces are already committed to the battle. The pressure at the front line is great, and I fear that we... I see. Can I leave the protection of those two to you? The greatest Sanctifier falters for a moment, shaking her head slowly but firmly. I'm afraid that is not possible. Even if their flanks are left to you, Lord Hesperus, there's only Raven, Judgment, and I on the front lines. If I am to leave, I fear that our already disadvantaged Stale will... I will be there. His tone is unquestionable. But your wounds? They are no matter. The Sanctifier's fate shall not be shaken by mere injury. So long as I stand, so shall the Acropolis. Even if my flame is extinguished, the Sanctifier's light shall never be fade. Leave the front lines to me and commence with the mission in the reverse Babylon Tower. Do not forget your duty, Angelos. Yes, that which Sanctifiers must do. I speak of not only retrieving the sacred canon. You have other duties to perform as well. I understand, Lord Hesperus. The delegation of duties complete. Antonida and the professor finally let out a long sigh of relief. Can we stop it with the riddles already? I would love to find out who designed your base code. Thank you for your understanding, Hesperus. No need to thank. This about reparations for past mistakes. He looks toward Angelos. She has already taken up her bow again, beginning to plan an incursion route on the tower's layout. Do you have any reservations that yet remain? Angelo's abilities are undeniable, but she is without a doubt still young. I cannot say I finally understand your usage of young, but I think being young is great. It signifies new life and hope. Indeed, the young are of those two shoulders the future, prone to pitfall as they are. When the time comes, I hope you can. Before he finished, the earth shakes beneath everyone's feet. As the entropic hordes screech and roar, the very ground buckles and cracks. On a battlefield some kilometers away, countless monsters congregate, keen to end the lives of those who yet resist. Wow. So we are really going into action and into fire. It's like really no pause at all. But still, what does Arcadia does in that moment? Stage 1. Sunrise Sojourn. Once enemies, no allies. And we are entering with playable Angelos. She is dodge trade attacker with operant damage.
浄化者の実力をご覧あそばせ。
And this is here anomaly stages. Well, this is very similar when we do have dolls events. The Twilight Acropolis is quite a distance away from the reverse tower. At our current speed, we might not be able to reach it before Osphorus notice and take action. Professor, I have a suggestion. Would you like to experience high-speed fly? Looks like it's going to be a boomsy ride. So is operant barrier of this level sufficient? You don't need to worry about me. I'm not that fragile. Oh, my apologies. I simply wish to ensure you were safe. You are the core of this operation, you know? Awkward. Let's see a little bit of look. Yeah, Angelus, her chibi model. She's quite tall. She's always got.
浄化者の実力をご覧あそばせ。鋭い矢尻は諸悪を抽出。
It kind of reminds me on the other doll that we also got, the bow doll. Similar. A large number of entropies appears ahead. Looks like they are the wandering hordes which made their lair in the vicinity of the reverse tower. Fear not. They are nothing more than trivial obstacles for a great Sanctifier. By unleashing my combat modules, I should be able to eliminate the forces in short, using only less than 30% of my full power. Like fast and take care of the alarm to alarm the enemy. Angels unlock her limits, and a storm of arrows that fills the skies swiftly clears the entropic hordes. Mission complete. Stay close to me as we move onwards. She's a tough foe, but you could not ask for a more reliable ally. And here on the stage, let's see her ultimate. Versus this birdie stuff.
浄化者の神罰降臨。
I think she burst out a
この
couple of
程度
hair
当然でし
heal
ょ。
damage.
鋭
Arrows.
い矢尻は諸悪を抽す。
Let's see, what is her ultimate? Fire 3, yeah, penetrating arrows at random enemies, dealing opponents damage that can create the enemies in their path, yes. So, not quite a lot of special stuff. She fires big arrows, that's what you need to know. The reverse tower defense are now active and all the watchtowers are in alert mode. Osphorus was clearly prepared for us to try something. Professor, the area ahead is open ground. Even with your disguise, walking into artillery killed zone is hardly wise, you know. Angelus, can you help snipe the enemy? Once again, Angelus releases a limiter and takes the watchtowers out one after another from beyond their effective range. Oh, there was a mild disturbance, but it cannot be helped. Let's maintain our present speed and move on. The reverse tower is almost within reach. We have entered the range of its defenses. There's no point in remaining hidden any longer. It's time to force our way it with all our might. Time to penetrate the tower at full force. Don't worry, I will protect you. We are in your hands, Angelus. I bet we will meet Oisharis in the reverse Babylon Tower. Oh, Tsaina. Well,
浄化者の実力を
if
神
it
罰
isn't
降
you,
臨。
our favorite great entropy. We really met her a
こ
lot.
の程度当然でしょ。
And that's it with this
鋭い矢尻
excurse
は諸悪を
of
抽す。
the Angelus way to reverse Babylon Tower. And this is also where we get the new doll, this guy here with the icon you see. Well, let's continue with part 2. Part 2. War clouds gather. Clumps of smoke rise all around as the sound of drums and gongs fill the air. Reverse Babylon Tower. The front lines. Reverence. So I don't know who is bad and who is good. A young lady having to weather the acrid air upon the battlefield is a cruel form of punishment. She abhors the stench of blood and grime, despite the rusty scent of smoke and gunpowder mingling. But what she hates most is the soreness that arises in her nose when an ally's life fades away. She's good. And so she continues to wield her axe. The further away she can get from that scent, the better. Yeah. Get out of my way! Her operant enhanced axe fails to sunder the monster's shell as expected. Before she can ever be surprised, a little tentacle attack swings towards her, launching her away. Ah! Averting major injury with a timely shield activation, their sheer force is that blow still propels her into the ruins on the other side as rubble digs into her back. Already starting to run dry, huh? If I need just a bit more. Knocked to the ground, the intermediate Sanctifier concocts a plan as she reaches for her weapon, preparing to spring back to her feet. In this moment, her fingers make contact with something called foreign. She turns to look at the source of the sensation, and that abominable sourness in her nasal cavity arises again. Ah! Ugh! She raises her axe, rushing towards the monsters, doing her very best to forget the sacrifice that just met her eyes. Her axe-wielding arm grows numb with strike after strike. She pummels away, only fighting an indescribable pile of what was in front of her. No more strength within her body. She crumbled down to the ground, leaning upon her weapon. Demons must all be exterminated. Firm as her belief might be, the depletion of opponents are an undeniable truth. After countless failed attempts to stand up, she let go of her weapon, allowing her embittered tears to fall upon the scorched earth. Cannot just fall here. I am an intermediate Sanctifier. I can still fight. And she's like literally fading away. Shit. Damn it all. She looks up at the place not far away to find another stand akin to what she witnessed moments ago. Holy warriors, wading into the heart of the battlefield against the entropic hordes, holding their grand ideas in their heart high as they struggle to strive. But try as they might, the number of entropics does not reduce ever slightly. Even sacrificial charges only impede the monster's forward march for a mere moment. Wow. Elite Entropic, wow, this is a new model. And he looks sick. What is that? She struggles and fails to remove her sight from the entropic leader. As memory would dictate, entropics should appear like monsters, never appeared in a form so similar to Sanctifiers. Oh no, that's accumulated Sanctifier. This monster before her had little regard for familiar cognition. The dark aura of death emanates from it, a malignant look in its eyes. It raises the curved blades in its hand, ready to take away her and her companion's life. Yeah, it does look like one of the Sanctifiers with this curved sword, even from the cutscene that you know from the Neurocloud. Damn it. Reverence takes up her axe, raising it in an attempt to deny her enemy steps forward. In but a moment, the monster closed the distance between them. Yeah. Ah. Before she can even realize that she is under attack, the intermediate Sanctifier is sent flying several meters away. Her prepared opponent's defense fall by their wayside at the monster's attack, as if they were never there. Crap! I was hoping I could at least take an attack or two. Oh my god, he's approaching. Unfamiliar with the concept of mercy, the monster approached with its blade raised. So, this is where it ends. An explosion? I'm always not sure if you can hear the explosion. The expected sensation of pain does not arrive. She opens her eyes to find two figures in front of her, blocking the deadly blow with their abilities combined. Fate, love! We're here. Are you alright, Reverence? I am, but I could not be able to say the same had you arrived a moment later. I know how ridiculous this sounds, but with the name of the Sanctifiers on the line, we must stop the demons here, lest they encroach upon the other sectors. Reverence, can you still stand? Yes. Despite the unending stream of arrows popping up in her neural cloud, the intermediate Sanctifier gets to her feet, taking no small amount of pride in it. In the face of approaching death, the three do not even contemplate feeling. Well said, love. We cannot simply allow those demons to live. For we are Sanctifiers, they who shall remove your kin from Magrasi. Yeah! The Anthropic comprehends not the emotion on display in front of it. It knows only what those who are in front of it are prey, to be cut to nothing but ribbons. It swings its claws, bringing with it enough force to slay all three of them group. But its plans would never come to fruition. The red dragon descends from the heavens, reaping a great divide between death and new life. Lord Hesperus, I have seen your resolve. Retreat and reinforce Zone B. This battlefield is mine. Yes. The fire ignites in their eyes once more, and they follow Hesperus' order with good news of Hesperus' descent in tow. Yeah! The humanoid Anthropics detect the danger at hand. It makes the first move, attempting to take Hesperus' life before he can launch an attack. That's a great mistake. Hesperus catches its blade with a bare hand in an instant, vaporizing the weapon with a first burst of operant. You're not worthy to stand before me. A blade of bright burning flame cuts through the air, hitting the humanoid Anthropics in a clean stroke. With no chance to fight back in the face of absolute power, the Imperial monster dissipates into pinning operants in the air, not given time to ever contemplate its own curse of death. Lord Hesperus. Yeah, like this one. It is an entropy version of the left one. Lord Hesperus has come. The battlefield transforms with a singular strike, and the attention of the other Sanctifiers in the fray are soon drawn to it. They subconsciously look towards Hesperus, the only guiding light upon this battlefield. The current head of the Sanctifiers marches forward with 1,000 favored eyes upon him as he connects to the Sanctifier's communicational channel. I am Hesperus. The Frontline shall now be under my command. Those who can no longer fight, retreat to Zone B for healing. Those who can continue, take up your arms and follow me. He raises the blade in his hand, signaling the path ahead for the Sanctifiers. Still engaged in the clash. We shall eliminate those demons and reclaim the reverse Babel Tower. For Magrasi! For Magrasi! The pride, unique to them, burns bright once more. driving away the fear and exasperation born of the blade, bestowing upon them endless power. They roar with rageful fury, diving back into the fray with an oath to never back down. As if responding to this resolve, the mastermind behind the invasion on the reverse Babylon Towers appears amid the entropic ocean. I have a slightly assuming thing that this might be Osiris? Yeah, Osiris, yes. You have become more eloquent, Hesperus. Something you have learned from him, perhaps? Oisphorus, okay, so it is actually Oisphorus. The Sanctifier's leader slowly turns around, meeting those red gold eyes he remembers so well once more. It's got nothing to do with you. My business here is to slay you, fallen to weakness as you have. Bear your blade, Oisphorus. Is that so? The architect of everything answers nonchalantly. He gestured with his hands, and the thus far silent entropy's horde begins to screech and roar, rushing toward Hesperus in a great, nearly incoherent mass. Tedious tricks. Flames surge as the blade clears its sheet, burning away the entropic mass that dared to bar their way. In an instant, the entropic swarm battlefield is transformed into an ocean of fire, leaving Hesperus and Oisphorus to their standford. I must offer respect for the strength of your beliefs. But what you once were would have delivered a far mightier strike than that. Hesperus, your wounds are yet not fully healed, correct? I need no answer to see it clear as day. You are no match for me, deliberate as you are. Were you to turn and leave, I would allow you to flee, as a form of friend. No need to put a show of your duplicitous compassions. Hesperus' twin blades carve a path in the scorched earth, radiating an orange light as operants coalesce. Utilizing that high-order entropies in Tartarus to weaken me was part of your plan, was it not? This slight smirk. I guess it was? So you managed to intuit that? I know you better than you imagine, Oisphorus. Is that so? Whipping away the distant pain present just a moment ago, a faint smile appears on his face. It is true that I did not foresee your exterminating Judessa, but she did leave her corresponding mark on you, even in death. He reaches into their nothingness, and blinding starlight coalesces along the path of his fingers, slowly taking the shape of a blade. A tremendous operance burst comes forth from the blade, extinguishing the flames in the vicinity with a casual swing. Hesperus gripped the blade in his hand tightly. Being the singular individual most familiar with this maneuver, Hesperus knew that the foe in front of him would be striking to kill. The two face off in the air, the shock waves from their clash turning nearby buildings to rubble in an instant and forming an inviolable barrier around this battlefield of two. I cannot say I have ever foreseen that the anger and acrimony knee in that blade would be directed towards me. No one to reminisce. Very well then. As the two clash blades, on a less notable part of the battlefield, three Vigas proceed stealthy into the tower as planned. Hesperus has engaged the enemy. Now! Hold on, I need to make sure the ID disguise works properly. The green-haired doll taps away rapidly at the keyboard. As a series of checks succeed, she let out a long sigh of relief, quickly making her way to her companions in their hiding spot. Preparation complete. We can enter the tower. Professor? Yeah, let's go. Do not waste this opportunity Hesperus has given us. May the fortune will be with you, Lord Hesperus. Offering a prayer, Angelus unfurled her wings, making for her very own battlefield. A blade of starlight meets once more with the dragon's weapon, quickly breaking apart after an even exchange. Sensing that Angelus and her companions had successfully entered the tower, Hesperus retained his attention, fully focusing on his most familiar enemy, most beloved friend of his. Finally getting serious, I see. Shall we end the warm-up here? Warm-up, you say. No need to be so nervous. I do not mind your little plans. Minute charges do not affect the play's overarching direction. Nothing of yours gets past me. Not since the very beginning. Since where did you have so much to say? This is our last chance, after all. I treasure it. Rather, might this makes you take this a little more serious? As Osphorus motioned to launch an attack towards the Great Tower, a great dragon's tail launches at him from the left, and he must redirect opponents to defend himself. By the Sanctifier's honor, you shall not get past me. Flames of flame arise behind him. He gazes at the reverse Babel Tower, an unrelenting tenacity in his ice blue eyes. What come next, I leave to you. He's definitely speaking to the professor. This is a farming stage, so we will ignore that stage and proceed with part 3. Part 3. Wicked intellect. All that remains is my former friend is an icy darkness and deep as the abyss. Inside the reverse Babel Tower. Entropy. Kyak! They don't ski anymore, they kyak. I had accepted Entropy's presence here, but this number is absolutely insane. Damn it, we don't have any time to waste here. You too, keep your heads down. A rain of arrows descends along with her words, eliminating the entirety of the Entropy's blockade. That was a bit closer than I would have liked. Did you do that on purpose? Huh? I wonder as well. Never mind. By the way, that was one hell of an attack. You never revealed your true abilities back in Enigma, did you? Wouldn't you like to know? Is this smug smile? Oh, pay no mind to such things. Antoinette can only take a deep breath and settle her emotions, focusing upon the screen in front of her. You are perhaps troubled by something, Miss Antonina? No, just exclaiming what it was prudent to be on your side. I will redistribute our operants according to your displayed capabilities. We need to prepare a contingency plan in the case an emergency arises. You certainly seems the reliable sort, Miss Antonida. That I am. So please don't speak to me in that tone you reverse for juvenile agents. Never mind, I shall save my breath. Plenty of things that will use up our energy to come. The green-haired doll looks towards the upper tower. A thin, seemingly infinite stairway spirals upwards, occupied by encounter entropics lying in wait. With so many of them, even with your here to open the way, we will use up far too much time and operants. Our destination is the Pantheon, right? Is there more covert and expedition route? Regrettably, this is the only route. Without these entropics in the way, they could simply fly us there, but an entropic attack could come from anywhere with the current state of things. Yes, it would be better to move covertly and avoid too much attention. With such a big tower, if I was the place architect, I would have left some shortcuts for sure. Amidst her pondering, Antonina pulls up the tower layout again, projecting it into the air. What is on your mind, Antonina? Just a little concern of mine. Angelus, what do you know of this area architecture? Here, as far as I know, this is the lesser Sanctifier's rest area. Give me a moment. Angelus nods slightly, taking note of Antonina's actions as she fights back the surrounding entropics. The emerald-haired doll's finger taps away and the word unlocked soon appears on her screen. It is no emerald-haired doll. Not green. The wall she just gestures at opens and narrow. Hidden space can be seen with it. This is a hidden pass? Ah, of course. That's what it was. Mind explaining, Miss Antonina? The greater Sanctifier wears a sunny smile upon her face, but something sinister is obvious in her tone. How did you come to know of something even I, a great Sanctifier, was not aware of? I just wanted to try something. Never expected it to actually work. Just an intuition, rather. Ever since we entered this tower, a familiar feeling has been on my mind. Another sassy Antonina! Many of the structures here are oddly similar with my way of doing things. Similar to an understandable degree. So I had to look for some shortcuts in accordance with my habits, and my guesswork has been proven correct. Okay, there's something big, huge rebuilt about Antonina. This is sus. Is that all you have for me? I have no need to hide anything. Very well, if you really want, I can show you some proof. Antonina displays 2 blocks of code. On the left here is the code sample of the tower you provided, and on the right is some Oasis Fireball code I wrote. Observe this part here, quite similar, right? And you put it in that way. The divisive piece of proof is This comment here on the card in this corner. This is a habit only I have. You will not find it anywhere else. You mean to say that the reverse Babylon Tower is a creation of yours as well? Angelo subconsciously grips her weapon tightly. The reverse Babylon Tower is a work of God, descends from above. Are you their servant, or? Your way of treating humanity as died is really off-putting. I'm just a network safety engineer. I fear that the entire reverse Babylon Tower has marks of my handiwork, as you have just witnessed. Why did you not tell us this before? I only came to realize this just now. Sure. Antonida shakes her head, continuing to explain. In reality, I once performed part of the Cloud's network safety design and worked on matrices for a period. But out of the project requirements for safety, relevant memory data was all sealed as the project's end and cannot be accessed via normal methods. It would appear now that the work back then was related to the reverse Babylon Tower. So she actually, oh my god, she actually designed it. The greater Sanctifier's grip on her bow loosens, and she retracts some of her tipping operants. I will choose to believe you, Antonida. I will seek out the details from you after things are at the end. We have more important matters at hand. We are still some distance away from the Pantheon. Do not let your guard down, Professor. Of course. The tower shakes vigorously. Interrupting the conversation, Angelos and Antonida scan the surrounding with heightening alert. Has Osphorus found us? No, that wasn't caused by an attack from the outside. It came from inside the tower. As if confirming Angelo's conjecture, the entropics within the tower begins to frantically screech. High intensity operant signal from the upper layers, approaching fast, approximately 30 seconds out from the layer we are on. It is Isharis. Damn it, no way that's anyone on anything friendly. Can we identify which high order entropic it is? I will figure out a strategy. I'm looking, hang on. Antonida quickly identifies their project signal. Her hand on the keyboard suddenly stops. This ID looks familiar. It's... Oh wait, Wisdom? A dark silhouette leaps downwards, instantly shattering the ground beneath the ground's feet. Oh no! Man, she's back up from the chapter 5. Look out! Grab onto me, Professor, Antonida. Just as the two are about to fall, Angelus lifts them into the air, moving them away from the demolished area. The enemy moves to pursue, but Angelus forces him back with a few shots. It charges its anger of approaching, growling as it prepares to attack. Yeah! That came out of nowhere. Antonida, prepare for combat. Antonida? Wisdom. Is that wisdom? It doesn't look very good. Yes, this is the wisdom we knew. Look how cute she looks. We are partners now, right? Don't you worry, I will keep you unharmed. You guys are truly impressive, especially the Professor Command. I will take her back to the Reverse Babylon Tower for healing. Paradise shall be under Sanctifier's jurisdiction from now on. You ought to leave when you can. Why are you here? Upon noticing their intensified entropization, she puts two and two together. Anger immediately consumes her visage. Aspharos, you bastard! Wow! I'm so glad we have no voices here. I will skip this part. Okay, holy moly, I got... Oh my god. The irate voice gradually distorts until it is no more than a twisted breath holding. Wisdom. Beyond our blades in the darkness, we defend order in the faces of chaos. We bear a light in the long night. Believe me, I am prepared to do whatever it takes, Lady Angelus. Past images flash through her neural cloud. Angelus opens her eyes after a deep breath. Her eyes resolute. I respect your determination, Wisdom. I shall bring you release. Wisdom, you! Leave this to me. Angelus stops Antonida, shielding the two behind herself. She knocks an arrow of solidified operance. Damn it all! I shall eliminate you from Magracia and scourge you from the clouds. I shall exterminate you, and you will know that my soul is one that is favored by the gods. Sleep well, Wisdom, with the honor of the Sanctifiers over you. And I guess this is our stage against Wisdom. Definition of pathos. Should I become infected one day, I will gladly accept my release. Damn. Of course it is Wisdom. So this is what I didn't saw that much in the past. Anomaly area as the boss fight. Warning. High energy operance reaction detected ahead. We have fallen into an entropic encirclement, and Wisdom's super long range cannon is aimed at us. Breakthrough. Recovery area. Sure. I guess let's fight Wisdom. Oh my god. Okay, let's bring it fast up behind us. Scream of pain. Fire of seal load. A downpour of arrows intertwines with scattering bullets, blossoming in the air, destroying every project in the vicinity. A cerulean muzzle flash flare again and again, one of the two sources of light alongside the path left behind by arrows of light, illuminating two opposing figures. Projecting the past, dissipating in the present. Running dry on operants, just like yesterday. Actually, lumps when fire rate goes up. No, I must continue training, so I will be allowed to join the next border defense operation. I should use my remaining operants for shooting practice. For Magra, it's dangerous to fully deplete your operants, you know. Ah! Lady Angelus, for what reason are you here? I figured I should observe my junior efforts as I was passing by. Are you not pushing yourself too hard? But I'm still far from being able to take the field at the border. So long as you keep at 8, you will be able to meet those standards soon enough. No need to rush yourself, such. But... Wisdom's lowered her head, pinching the hems of her clothing tightly. Do not want to only be able to watch the other Sanctifiers make sacrifices or retire from the border, laden with injuries. I do not want to watch powerlessly as agents are infected. I don't want. Perhaps my power alone will not sway the battlefield in one direction or another, but if I'm there, I might be able to save one or more companions, prevent one more infection. I want to fight for Magracy too. I see. May I have a look at your weapon? Yes. Do not focus solely upon attaining both speed and precision. Judge the operants committed to each single attack and ensure that you are operating with utmost efficiency. Consistent output is most important. Though I would recommend that you end today standing here, the plating of operants is no good for one neural system. After a thorough examination of Wisdom's sniper rifle, Angelus stones in behind her. I will help optimize your weapon. If you wish to continue, I will be here again this time tomorrow. Really? Thank you for your guidance. I only hope the battlefield does not blunt your favor. Quick and accurate shots fly forth in the direction of the prey. The hunted awaits to the side and draws the bow in preparation to return fire, only to find their quarry missing from their previous position. Before she had time to think, gunfire come from the other direction, forcing her to activate a defensive shield. Ah, Lady Angelus, thank you for your previous teachings. Have you been given a mission to complete? Yes, a sector has come under demonic attacks. Some unruly children need to be disciplined. What of you? Do you plan to leave for the border? Yes, even if it's a part of the rear guard. The battlefield is cruel. You must keep your guard up, even in the rear. I understand. By the way, Lady Angelus, your weapon of choice is a bow. A ranger attacker, like me. Indeed, in terms of long-range precision, I'm confident that I am unmatched among Sanctifiers. If only I were able to move while shooting like you can. Your abilities are not at that level yet. It will take time and practice before that is possible. Before that, however, you must learn to be timely with responding. Do not sit still and allow your opponents to hone in on you. Yes, I will remember that well. You're shaping as well, Wisdom. She forms a batch of new arrows, predicting Wisdom's movements and locking her down. Forced into a corner, the hunter begins to fire once more. Arrows and bullets collide mid-air once more. This time, the shattered arrow do not dissipate like before. Wisdom's in big pain scream. The stirred up dust impairs the hunter's vision. She instinctively sprays shots in all directions out of fear, trying to drive away both the smoke and the enemy hidden with it. Before she can turn around, the arrow source appears behind her, bow drawn. You are improving quickly, Wisdom. If this continues, you might best me one day yet. This thanks to your guidance. I'm only an intermediate Sanctifier though, while you are a great Sanctifier, that day might too far away to witness. Also, Lady Angelus, I want to ask you why you choose to be bow your weapon. Is there a specific reason? Sorry, did I out too much? My apologies. Do not be so on edge. I am thinking about my answer. I suppose it simply came naturally. There are no special reason. Oh, I see. I picked a sniper rifle because it was just too cool. It gives off a feeling of watching over everyone from behind, doesn't it? Does indeed fit you. Your big sister is of the same mind. Who is her big sister? Big sister? Oh. Ah, I accidentally brought out my habits when I'm with Asharis. Do not laugh, Wisdom. So Lady Angelus referred to herself in such a manner in private, knowing that my always perfect Lady Angelus has such a side brings me ease. I must say. Say, don't laugh. I hope you still be good and keep this a secret. Less punishment this scent. That look on your face is terrifying, Lady Angelus. On my honor as a Sanctifier, I shall not speak of this another soul. Wisdom, I got your request. You have increased the frequency of your training within the goal of being selected for the main force on the next border defense operation, correct? Yes, I have passed the relevant ability examination. I wanted to prove my growth to you as well. I know that you are the head of the main force for the next operation there. When my assignment and heritage is over, I would like to follow you onto the battlefield. The entropies have become far more actively recently. This battle will most likely be the toughest yet, and we will have to sacrifice more than ever before. No wonder your expression is so grave. Worry not. Allow me to lend you a hand. Do you fear sacrifice, Wisdom? We hone our blades in the darkness. We defend order in the face of chaos. We bear light in the long night. Hey. We hone our blades in the darkness. We defend order in the face of chaos. We bear light in the long night. In all honesty, I have always had a certain longing for your visage in battle, Lady Angelus. We must not abuse our power because we are strong, and neither can we abandon our responsibilities because we are weak. The unstoppable aura around you that feels like it could drive away darkness in every corner and truly protect everyone. For we heed the revelation of God, and we act to carry out His will. Believe me, I'm prepared to do whatever it takes, Lady Angelus. Please, allow me to take the field with you in Magras's defense. The arrow accurately carries out its duty, marking straight for the Enterprise core after tearing through layers upon layers of defense. No clamor of shell upon ground, no sound of blowstreak slicing through air. A soft, simple shattering, marking the end to hair shots and mundane life. Short. The girl's shattered body falls softly from mid-air. Lady Angelos, I'm here. What has happened to me? You have been infected by entropy. Don't worry, it's all okay now. Lady Angelos, I haven't hurt anyone else, have I? No, rest easy. I have bestowed upon you the release you wished for yourself. All is well, truly. Huh? I heard Pro say you just killed one of your subordinates. It was something that has to be done. If one day I am infected, I shall gladly accept the release bestowed upon me by Lord Osphorus. So you still remember? Yes, I remember it is as it were yesterday. Thank you for fulfilling my final wish to depart as a Sanctifier. Of course. Fare thee well, Lady Angelus. May you pass forward, wherever blazed. The body in her embrace disappears into the wind, returning to the reverse Babel Tower, becoming part of it once more. Yes, thank you for keeping the Sanctifier's glory close at heart until the very end. The greater Sanctifier picks up her bow and arrow, looking toward the shadow not far away. Are you satisfied, Asharis? Before her voice fades, the sound of applause suddenly breaks out, smoothing lament in its infancy. Boss, director and audience, she ascends from beneath the stage after an elegant courtesy. Of course. You have put in quite a tragedy for me. Wouldn't you agree, Pixis Angelos? Whoa, and it was only a matter of times until we meet Asharis. That was a quite intense part 1 with striking against the battle, and we already met Asharis, so I'm asking myself, what did they plan for us the next couple of stages? I'm not sure how much it will split. It will be probably a long one. We will see. And I cannot predict it. Also, who would predict that Antonida here is also helped at designing the reverse Babel Tower? It is a weird situation that we have a human that is kinda a deity for the Sanctifiers, and a doll that was created by the humans, but do not refer to them as deity. we will close to the end the part 1 of this event. I thank you for watching, listening. Wish you a good day, night, afternoon, and stay on. Take care.